Welcome back to Twisted Pine Homestead. Today, we're diving deep into the world of rabbits.
The rabbits.
Yeah, and their surprising role in sustainable living.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We've got this fascinating guide. It's called Rabbit Revolution, Breeding, Care, and Herbal Remedies for Modern Homesteaders. And let me tell you,
Okay.
it's packed with insights that might just change, how you think about these furry little creatures.
Yeah. When people think about homesteading,
Yeah.
they often picture, chickens, goats,
Right.
maybe a cow or two. But
Yeah.
rabbits, they tend to get overlooked.
Yeah, they're often relegated to like the cute pet category.
Right.
Not the key to sustainability category.
Yeah, yeah.
But this book, Rabbit Revolution, makes a really strong case for why that needs to change.
It really does. And what's fascinating is how efficient rabbits are as a food source.
Okay.
They can turn what we might consider like waste garden trimmings, foraged weeds, even kitchen scraps
Wow.
into high-quality protein with a remarkably small environmental footprint.
Okay, so they're like little upcycling machines.
Yes.
Turning our leftovers into nutritious meals.
Exactly.
But what about the practicalities? Like, what makes them so sustainable compared to, say, raising chickens or goats?
Well, for starters, their space requirements are much smaller.
Okay.
You don't need acres of pasture to raise rabbits.
Right.
A well-designed hutch system can house a surprisingly large number of rabbits in a relatively small area.
So they're ideal for folks with limited space.
Yes.
Maybe even those in urban or suburban settings who are looking to like incorporate more self-sufficiency into their lives.
Exactly. And let's not forget about their manure. It's a gardener's goldmine.
Okay, yeah. I've heard that rabbit manure is a fantastic fertilizer. But is there something special about it compared to other animal manures?
Absolutely. Rabbit manure is what's known as a cold manure.
Okay.
Unlike cow or horse manure,
Right.
which needs to be composted
All right.
before applying directly to plants.
Okay.
Rabbit manure is gentle enough to use straight from the hutch.
Wow.
It's packed with nitrogen and other essential nutrients,
Okay.
and it won't burn your plants.
Wow. So it's like instant organic plant food.
Yes.
That's a huge advantage for anyone looking to like boost their garden's productivity without resorting to chemical fertilizers.
Absolutely. And here's another interesting tidbit.
Okay.
Rabbits can actually help with pest control.
Really?
By strategically managing their grazing, you can use them to keep weeds and unwanted plants in check, reducing the need for herbicides and pesticides.
So we're talking about a multi-talented addition to the homestead.
Yes.
Efficient protein source, natural fertilizer provider, and even a little helper in the garden.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
It really is. And
Yeah.
what's even more fascinating is the variety of rabbit breeds out there. Rabbit Revolution dives deep into heritage breeds, which are particularly well suited for a sustainable lifestyle.
I've heard the term heritage breed before, but I'm not entirely sure what it means.
Right.
Could you explain that a bit further?
Certainly. Heritage breeds are essentially the heirloom varieties of the rabbit world.
Right.
They're breeds that have been around for generations, often developed for specific purposes, like meat production, fur, or even show.
Okay.
They tend to be hardier, more adaptable, and have a greater genetic diversity than commercial breeds.
So it's kind of like having a diversified investment portfolio.
Yes.
It makes your rabbitry more resilient to diseases and changing conditions.
Exactly. And because they've been bred for specific traits over time,
Right.
they often require less specialized care
Okay.
and can thrive on a more natural diet, which aligns perfectly with the principles of sustainable living.
That's great. If you're enjoying this deep dive into the world of rabbits and sustainable living, we encourage you to hit that like button, share this episode with your friends and fellow homesteaders, and subscribe to Twisted Pine Homestead for more insightful content.
Yeah.
And if you're finding this information particularly valuable, you can support our work with a Buy Me a Coffee donation.
Yeah.
Now, let's jump back into our discussion about these amazing creatures. Rabbit Revolution gives some great examples of these heritage breeds, right?
It does. For meat production, you have breeds like the New Zealand White or the Californian, known for their fast growth and excellent meat-to-bone ratio.
Okay.
If you're interested in fiber, the Angora rabbit is is famous for its luxurious wool.
Wow.
While the Rex rabbit produces a velvety plush fur that's highly sought after.
It sounds like there's a breed for just about every need and interest on the homestead. Now, I'm sure some of our listeners might be thinking, this all sounds great, but where do I even begin?
Right.
Before reading Rabbit Revolution, I have to admit, I felt a bit intimidated by the idea of raising rabbits.
Uh-huh.
But it seemed like there was so much to learn.
It's a common feeling.
Yeah.
But Rabbit Revolution does a fantastic job of breaking down the essentials.
Right.
It covers everything from housing needs to nutrition to healthcare in a way that's both informative and approachable.
So let's start with the basics. What are the key things someone needs to know about providing a healthy and happy environment for their rabbits?
Well, first and foremost, it's about understanding that rabbits are prey animals.
Okay.
This means they have natural instincts and behaviors
Right.
that need to be accommodated in their housing. They need to feel safe and secure
Right.
with plenty of hiding places
Okay.
and escape routes. So a traditional wire cage, while easy to clean, doesn't really meet their needs.
So what does a more appropriate rabbit dwelling look like?
Ideally, you want to mimic their natural habitat as
Yeah.
much as possible. Rabbit Revolution suggests using hutches with solid floors and walls,
Okay.
ample space for movement,
Right.
and separate areas for nesting, eating, and eliminating waste.
It's all about creating a space where they can feel comfortable
Yes,
expressing their natural behavior.
exactly.
Now, what about diet? What do these herbivores need to thrive?
You hit the nail on the head, herbivores. Hay should make up the bulk of their diet, around 80%.
Wow. Okay.
It provides the fiber they need for healthy digestion.
Right.
And helps wear down their constantly growing teeth.
So forget those colorful pellet mixes you see at the pet store.
While pellets can be part of a balanced diet, Rabbit Revolution cautions against relying on them too heavily.
Okay.
They can be high in calories and low in fiber, which can lead to health problems down the line. Think of them like candy for rabbits,
Okay.
as an occasional treat,
Right.
but not a staple.
Gotcha. So hay is king and pellets are a treat.
Yes.
What about fresh foods? Can we supplement their diet with things from our gardens?
Absolutely. Fresh vegetables are a great way to provide additional nutrients and variety.
Okay.
Leafy greens like romaine lettuce, kale, and dandelion greens are excellent choices. You can also offer them small amounts of fruits and root vegetables as treats.
Okay, cool. And what about herbs?
Yes.
I know Rabbit Revolution is a big proponent of using herbs for rabbit healthcare.
It is. And
Yeah.
and this is where things get really interesting. Herbs can be incredibly beneficial for supporting rabbit health naturally.
Okay.
For example, chamomile is known for its calming properties and can help with digestive upset.
Oh.
Dandelion is packed with vitamins and minerals
Right.
and supports liver health. Peppermint can aid digestion and respiratory function.
Yeah.
And echinacea is a fantastic immune booster.
It's like having a natural pharmacy right in your garden.
Yes.
I'm curious, though, how do you actually administer these herbs to rabbits? Do you make them tiny cups of chamomile tea?
Well, you could try that, but they might prefer it in a more edible form.
Okay.
You can add fresh or dried herbs to their hay,
Right.
mix them into a mash, or even offer them as treats.
So it's all about integrating these herbs into their diet
Yes.
in a way that's both palatable and effective.
Exactly. And Rabbit Revolution provides a comprehensive guide to safe and effective herbal remedies
Okay.
for common rabbit ailments. So
Right.
it's a great resource for anyone looking to incorporate a more holistic approach to rabbit care.
It really sounds like Rabbit Revolution is an indispensable guide
Yes.
for anyone serious about raising rabbits sustainably.
I would agree. It not only provides practical information, but also fosters the deeper understanding of rabbit behavior,
Right.
health, and their role in the larger ecosystem.
Speaking of which, Rabbit Revolution also touches on the importance of health monitoring, right?
Absolutely. It emphasizes that prevention is key when it comes to rabbit health.
Okay.
They're masters at hiding signs of illness.
Oh, wow.
So it's crucial to be observant and proactive.
So what are some of the things that we should be looking out for?
Pay close attention to their behavior, appetite, and droppings.
Okay.
Any changes in in these areas could be an early warning sign of a problem.
Right.
For example, a sudden decrease in appetite.
Right.
Or a change in the size or consistency of their droppings could indicate digestive issues.
So we're talking about being attuned to even the smallest details.
Yes.
Because those details could be telling us a lot about our rabbit's well-being.
Precisely. And Rabbit Revolution goes into detail about some of the more common ailments rabbits can experience, like gastrointestinal stasis, respiratory infections, and dental problems. It also provides guidance on when to seek veterinary care.
It's all about empowering homesteaders to take a more proactive and informed approach to their rabbit's health.
Exactly. And it ties back to that core principle of sustainability.
Right.
Working with nature's resources to create a healthier and more self-sufficient lifestyle.
Now, we've talked a lot about the benefits of raising rabbits on a homestead.
Yeah.
But Rabbit Revolution also takes a broader perspective, right?
It does.
It explores how rabbits fit into the whole ecosystem of a sustainable lifestyle.
It does. It emphasizes the interconnectedness of all things on a homestead.
Okay.
It talks about how rabbits can be integrated with other companion animals, how their manure can enrich your garden, and how the whole cycle contributes to a more self-reliant way of life.
It's like creating a closed-loop system where everything works together in harmony.
Exactly. And Rabbit Revolution even touches on the educational benefits for families.
Oh, okay.
Raising rabbits can teach children responsibility, connect them to nature, and equip them with valuable life skills.
I can imagine. It's a wonderful way for kids to learn about where their food comes from.
Yes.
And the importance of caring for living creatures.
Yes.
And let's not forget the potential economic benefits.
Right.
We've talked about meat and fur, but there are other ways rabbits can contribute to a homestead's financial well-being.
Absolutely. Rabbit Revolution mentions the possibility of generating income from breeding rabbits.
Okay.
Selling their manure as fertilizer.
Right.
Or even offering educational workshops on rabbit care and sustainable living.
It's amazing to think that these furry little creatures can have such a profound impact on our lives and the environment.
It truly is. And that's the message that Rabbit Revolution drives home so effectively. It's about recognizing the potential of rabbits and embracing a more conscious and interconnected way of life.
Now, before we jump into the future of rabbit farming and the growing rabbit revolution,
okay,
I want to remind you that if you're enjoying this deep dive, we'd love for you to hit that like button, share this episode with your friends, and subscribe to Twisted Pine Homestead for more insights into sustainable living. You can also support the show with a Buy Me a Coffee donation if you find this information valuable.
Absolutely.
Now, let's get back to our fascinating discussion. Rabbit Revolution talks about a growing trend of sustainable rabbit farming. What's driving this movement?
Well, I think there are several factors at play.
Yeah.
There's a growing awareness of the environmental impact of our food choices, and people are seeking out more sustainable alternatives to factory farmed meat rabbits with their efficient feed conversion and low impact lifestyle. Fit the bill perfectly.
It makes a lot of sense. And I imagine the rising interest in self-sufficiency and homesteading plays a role as well.
Absolutely. More and more people are looking to take control of their food sources and create a more resilient lifestyle. Rabbits offer a manageable entry point into homesteading, even for those with limited space or experience.
So it's a combination of environmental awareness, the desire for self-sufficiency, and perhaps even a bit of a back-to-basics movement.
Exactly. And Rabbit Revolution highlights how this movement is gaining momentum. There's a resurgence of interest in heritage breeds, in natural healthcare practices, in regenerative farming techniques, all of which align beautifully with a sustainable approach to rabbit raising.
I'm really intrigued by this concept of regenerative farming. What does that look like in the context of rabbits?
Well, it's all about working with nature to create a thriving ecosystem. For example, you can use rabbit manure to build healthy soil in your garden,
Right.
which in turn produces more nutritious food for your rabbits.
Okay.
You can also integrate rabbits into a rotational grazing system,
Right.
allowing them to fertilize and naturally till the soil while controlling weeds.
So it's a closed loop system where the rabbits benefit the land.
Yes.
And the land benefits the rabbit.
Precisely. And it's a much more holistic and sustainable approach compared to conventional farming methods that rely heavily on chemical inputs and monoculture practices.
It sounds like Rabbit Revolution is not only a guide to raising rabbits, but also a call to action for those who want to be part of this larger movement towards a more sustainable future.
It is. It encourages readers to connect with other rabbit enthusiasts, share their knowledge, and support each other in this journey.
Yeah.
It emphasizes the importance of community building,
Right.
and the power of collective action.
So it's not just about individual homesteaders doing their own thing.
Right.
It's about creating a network of like-minded individuals who are working together to build a more sustainable world.
Yes. One
rabbit hutch at a time.
Exactly. And that's what makes this movement so exciting. It's about more than just raising rabbits.
Yeah,
it's about creating a more resilient, equitable, and ecologically sound food system.
Speaking of sharing knowledge, what are some of the key takeaways from Rabbit Revolution that our listeners can apply to their own homesteads, even if they're just starting to explore the idea of raising rabbits?
I think the first takeaway is to simply recognize the incredible potential of rabbits. They're not just cute pets. They're versatile, efficient, and sustainable additions to any homestead.
So ditch the factory farmed meat.
Yes.
And embrace the rabbit revolution.
Exactly. And when it comes to choosing rabbits, heritage breeds are the way to go. They're hardier, more adaptable, and often better suited to local climates, which means less work for you.
Yeah.
And a healthier ecosystem overall.
And don't forget about those amazing herbal remedies.
Yeah.
Rabbit Revolution makes a strong case for embracing natural health solutions and empowering yourself to care for your rabbits in a more holistic way.
It's a wonderful way to connect with nature's healing power and reduce your reliance on conventional medications.
It sounds like Rabbit Revolution is a must-read for anyone serious about sustainable living and homesteading, whether they're seasoned rabbit raisers or just starting out.
I would agree. It's a comprehensive guide that not only informs but also inspires. It makes you rethink the possibilities of what a sustainable lifestyle can look like, and the role that these often overlooked creatures can play.
And it's not just about the practical aspects. It's about the philosophy behind it, right?
Yes.
The idea of living in harmony with nature, respecting the interconnectedness of all things, and creating a more resilient and sustainable future for ourselves and generations to come.
Absolutely. And that's something we can all strive for, whether we have a sprawling homestead or a tiny urban garden. It's about making conscious choices, big and small, that move us in the right direction.
Well said. And on that note, we want to thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of Twisted Pine Homestead.
Yes.
And the fascinating world of rabbits.
It's been a pleasure exploring these ideas with you.
We hope you've learned something new and maybe even feel inspired to embark on your own sustainable living adventure.
Yes.
Perhaps even with a few furry, long-eared companions by your side.
Remember, every journey starts with a single step.
So as you go about your day, we leave you with this thought-provoking question. What small step can you take today to move towards a more sustainable lifestyle?
Every action, no matter how small, can make a difference.
Thank you for listening to Twisted Pine Homestead.